Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Shelby Monet of Shelby and the Book Club and of Shelby and the Bookstore. And if you are new here, welcome. If you are returning, hey boo, hey. In today's video, we are going to be talking about my September TBR. So if you would like to hear it, here it goes. Hi, my name is Shelby and I'm still behind on my reading for the year. I don't know how I'm going to catch myself up, but I know that I'm going to do it, and I've just decided to stop stressing myself. I feel like I say something around the same type of whatever every month, but a lot has been going on. A lot has changed. I'm adapting to running my own business and all of that kind of stuff. So I'm learning. I'm trying. I'm gonna figure it out eventually, but I'm gonna catch myself up. I know that I'm gonna catch myself up. I don't know how, but I know that I'm gonna do it because I am determined and I am not going to fail, especially not in front of people. Behind closed doors is whatever, but I told y'all I was gonna read a certain amount of books, so I'm gonna read them books. Dang it, do you hear me? They gonna get read. I don't know when or how, but it's gonna happen. So let's start off with the book club pick for the month. So originally September's book was supposed to be The Killing Moon. No, it was supposed to be The Other Black Girl, but I haven't really heard good things about The Other Black Girl. And I do plan to read it myself and to do a review video on it, because I've heard a lot of black women say that it's not what it was portrayed as. Let's put it that way. So at the last minute, I decided to change our book to The Killing Moon. Is it going to focus? There we go. The Killing Moon by N.K. Jemisin. Can you guys see that? There we go, that's better. The Killing Moon by N.K. Jemisin. So I'll read the synopsis to you. It says, in an ancient city-state of Jugari, peace is the only law. Upon its rooftops and among the shadows of its cobbled streets wait the gatherers, the keepers of this peace. Their duty is to harvest the magic of the sleeping mind and use it to heal, soothe, and kill those judged corrupt. But when a conspiracy blooms within Jugari's great temple, Eharu, the most famous of the city's gatherers must question everything he knows. Someone or something is stalking its prey both in Jugari's alleys in the realm of dreams. Must now protect the women he was sent to kill, or watch the city be devoured by war and forbidden magic. So what I will tell y'all about this, it is the first book of a trilogy. So it is going to end on the cliffhanger. Let's all keep that in mind so that when it ends a certain way, everybody is not upset. Next, we will talk about what the Patreon book pick is. So there wasn't a Patreon book pick last month. And y'all can probably hear my animal barking. I apologize. I have an animal. He doesn't always cooperate because this is his house and my mama and I just happen to live here. So yeah, it is what it is at this point. So if you guys don't know, if you are new here, I do have a Patreon. It has its own separate book club. Also, I do a podcast on my Patreon page. So there's a lot of stuff going on over there. If you would like to join, the link is in my bio. Come and hang out with us. It is a bunch of fun. We have Zoom meetings once a month. Whole wang ding doodle all the time. And one of the perks of joining the Patreon is you get to pick which book we read for the month. So I throw some options out there and everybody votes, and that's how we decide what we are going to read for the month. So last month there wasn't a Patreon book, and that is because I was working on opening up the bookstore online. But there is a book for this month, and it is What Strange Paradise by Omar El Akkad, I think. When I read the synopsis of this, it was very much giving me No Heaven for Good Boys vibes. And the reason that I say that is because it's a story, well, it says that it's a story about two children. So it says, more bodies have washed up on the shores of a small island. Another overfilled, ill-equipped, dilapidated ship has sunk under the weight of its too many passengers. Syrians, Ethiopians, Egyptians, Lebanese, Palestinians, all of them desperate to escape untenable lives back in their homelands. But miraculously, someone has survived the passage. 9-year-old Amir, a Syrian boy who is soon to be rescued by Vanna. Vanna is a teenage girl who, despite being native to the island, experiences her own sense of homelessness in a place and among people she has come to disdain. And though Vanna and Amir are complete strangers, though they don't speak a common language, Vanna is determined to do whatever it takes to save the boy. So it seems like it's alternating chapters. So it really was giving me, like I said, No Heaven for Good Boys vibes. Because it's about children and they're experiencing some sort of struggle. So I was really interested in this. Also, I believe either I've said it to you guys here on the YouTube channel, or I've said it on the Instagram page. I'm really interested in reading more books by Middle Eastern authors. I read A Woman Is No Man last year. I also read Aria. I can't remember the authors for either one of those books, but they were really good. So, and I also bought The Arsonist City, which I do plan to read soon as well. So this kind of fit in, and it was a short one, and it just seems like it's going to be really good. So that's what we're reading for the Patreon book club. So next, something you may not know about me is I'm like a nerd, you know, like I like science. I like learning about space and all of that kind of stuff. And one person that I follow that aids in that bit of nerdiness that's in me is Hank Green. And I recently found out that Hank Green wrote a book. 2 books, actually. And I had no idea. I follow him on TikTok. And he and his brother are always talking about all sorts of things that I never knew. Like things that they should teach in school. And they don't. Like, for example, I learned from Hank Green that the atmosphere slows precipitation down so that, like, rain and snow don't kill us. Isn't that fascinating? Like, I was just like, I never thought about the atmosphere that's around us because you can't really see it. Like, it's just one of those things. So, I love following him. Also, he's hilarious, like extremely funny. In my, I guess, my version of humor, he's funny. But I really enjoy following him and the things that he teaches and just the little tidbits or whatever. So with that said, on my list this month is An Absolutely Remarkable Thing by Hank Green. It is a novel. There is a sequel to this, but I do plan to read this month. I've heard amazing things about this book. Apparently it's funny, a little bit of mystery in there. I'm just really excited to read this. So this says, roaming through New York City at 3 a.m., 23-year-old April May stumbles across a giant sculpture. Delighted by its appearance and craftsmanship, like a 10-foot-tall transformer wearing a suit of samurai armor, April and her best friend Andy make a video with it, which Andy uploads to YouTube. The next day, April wakes up to a viral video in a different life. News quickly spreads that there are Carls in dozens of cities around the world. In April, as their first documentarian, finds herself at the center of an intense media spotlight. Seizing the opportunity to make her mark on the world, April now has to deal with the consequences of her new particular brand of fame has on her relationships, her safety, and her new identity. And all eyes are on April to figure out not just what the Carls are, but what they want from us. So it sounds really good. It seems like it's going to be like a quick read too. So I'm super excited to read that. Next on my list is The Book of Harlan by Bernice McFadden. So this, I believe I talked about this in my last video as a part of a haul, but this book goes through Harlan's life from like his conception, literally like his parents meeting, through his adult life when he gets sent to a concentration camp in Germany. So I wanted to read this because I've heard amazing things about Bernice McFadden. Two, I'm always so fascinated by the things about history that we do not know. And in my other video, I mentioned how, of course, the highlight of the Holocaust is what was the terrible things that were done to Jewish people in their community. It was disgusting. But there are also so many other things and people that also experienced the Holocaust that are not talked about. And again, I can understand why, but it's always interesting to me. And I think fiction often bridges the gap between the things that we know, and the things that we have yet to discover. Does that make sense? So this really got my attention when I read the synopsis, and it kind of is killing two birds with one stone, learning something new, and reading a Bernice McFadden book. Also, it made me think of this podcast that I listened to called Behind the Bastards. Let me warn you, if you go and you look to listen to this podcast, it is not for the weak. If you are not into like sarcasm and all of that kind of thing, then it is not the podcast for you, and that is fine. Everything is not for everybody. But what they do is they talk a lot about the most horrible people in history and their lives, and like how they became the person that they have become in history, right? A lot of people that I haven't heard about ever, but they talk a lot about the similarities of Hitler and how he got elected, and to Trump, and the similarities in which, like, a lot of people didn't believe that Trump is as bad as he really is. Like, oh, he's saying all of these things just to get elected. We don't think that he's actually going to follow through and do them. We don't think that people actually believe in the things that he's saying. And how, like, the same thing kind of happened with Hitler, where people didn't really believe. Like, it was a whole lot of things in history that we don't necessarily talk about, we don't learn about in school. That is a good place to get solid information from as well. So Behind the Bastards, great show. You can get all of these books from my website, by the way. So if there's anything that you do see that you do want to buy, you can get them from shelbyandthebookstore.com also as well. Okay, next on my list is In Every Mirror She's Black. So before I even tell you what the synopsis of this is, when I saw the title of this book, I knew that I wanted it, because in every mirror I am black. I am not a woman first. I am a black woman first. I am not a bookstore owner. I am a black bookstore owner. I am all of these amazing things, but the thing that people see first is that I am Black. And am I proud of that? Yes, but there are obstacles and issues that come with that. There are things that Black women experience that no one else will ever be able to account for. So the title just, it hit me in my chest a little bit. But the synopsis for this one says, successful marketing executive Kemi Adeyemi is lured from the US to Sweden by Johnny von Luden. That name sounds like he was a part of the Holocaust. Anyway, CEO of the nation's largest marketing firm, to help fix a PR fiasco involving a racially tone-deaf campaign. A killer at work, but a failure in love. Girl, talk about it, because if that didn't just describe me, Jesus Christ. Kemi's move is a last-ditch effort to reclaim her social life. A chance meeting with Johnny in business class en route to the U.S. propels former model turned flight attendant Brittany Ray Johnson into a life of wealth, luxury, and privilege, a life she's not sure she wants, as an object of his unhealthy obsession. In refuge, Muna Saheed, who lost her entire family, finds a job cleaning the toilets at Johnny's office as she works to establish her residency in Sweden, and more importantly, seek connection in a place she can call home. Told through the perspectives of each of the three women, In Every Mirror She's Black is a fast-paced, richly nuanced contemporary social novel that explores the deepest depths of what it means to be a Black woman navigating a white-dominated society. So this just sounds like it's going to be really good. And the cover is beautiful. Y'all know how I feel about seeing Black women on a book cover. I have to have it. Whether I read it someday or I don't, I have to have it. But I really, really want to read this. So, super exciting. And then last but not least, well, maybe I shouldn't say last, but I'll explain in a second. We have Hollow. Most of these books you guys saw in my last video, and they just happen to be a part of my TBR. But Hollow is I bought this book because of the cover. Isn't that artwork beautiful? Let me cover my face so that y'all can see. Isn't it beautiful? Isn't it? Hollow is Hollow is a fantasy. I'm not gonna pick that book up, but Hollow is a fantasy. It seems like a short read. It seemed very interesting. And it kind of sounded a little bit similar to The Killing Moon, and I've been in the mood for some sort of fantasy-esque type books. So yeah, there's that. Now, honorable mentions. These two books you will see in my wrap-up video later this week. But the reason that you're going to see them in both is because I have not finished them yet. Not because they are not good books, but because other things have been going on. Trying to find a work-life balance when you own your own business is a very strange thing. And I may be finished with them before September. I may not. Either way, I plan to finish these. If not this month, then next month. So this is Dear Miss Metropolitan and Honey Butter Pig Bread. Started this. I love it so much that I put it down. I don't want to finish it. But I also want to know what happens to the characters and, excuse me, see how they grow, so on and so forth. This one right here, go get it right now. Go, just go to showmeinthebookstore.com and get you a copy, because it is so good. And I can't wait to do a book review for this. I really cannot wait to do a book review for this. So it's touching, it talks about a touchy subject of being kidnapped and surviving that, but it also touches on some things that I feel like need to be spoken about. How we handle trauma, how life shapes some of our decisions, family, and just a bunch of other things. I really can't wait to do a in-depth review on this one. But that is it for my September TBR. Let me know in the comments what you plan to read for the month of September. Oh, what I didn't tell you guys is I am traveling in September. So that's another reason why this is kind of a hefty TBR. Because there will be some time in the middle of September where I will be up on a lake relaxing. And I can read as much as my heart desires. And I won't necessarily have to be like working and doing things. I will be able to relax and read, and I can't wait. I haven't been away in a while, so I'm super excited. So that's another thing. I'll really be able to catch up on my reading some this month as well. So that's an amazing thing. So like I was saying, if you've made it this far, thank you so much. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what your reading plans are for the month. I love when you guys tell me what you're reading. It is amazing. I think that's all I have for you. If no one has told you today, I love you. You are kind, you are smart, you are important. If to no one else, to me. And I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.